Hello students, this video is for Dr. Amaya TELS 3363 class, and the topic of the video is style and formatting of, and actually style, formatting, and grading of resumes. Okay, so I have an example resume on the screens made up from a couple of different submissions over the years. And there are some good points to this and some bad points. So I'm going to show you how I would grade this one so that you'll see where I'm coming from on this. I think that might help you with even with your style and formatting. Also, just remember that first grade is a place for you to start. So when this is all said and done, what I fully expect is that this student will take my comments, make the corrections, do the implementation of the ideas that are discussed, and then come back and increase his grade point. All right, so the first thing I see when I look at this paper is his name at the top. That's fine. And actually, this is a good way to do this. I have this problem as well. My name is Belinda Amaya, but most people know me as B. As a matter of fact, if you were to call my workplace and ask for Belinda, you might not get to me because not a lot of people even know that's my name. So one way to handle it, the way this student did, was to put your actual name on the paper so they know what your real name is, but to put the name that you go by in parentheses. Now, this is a character from a book. Some of you may know. It's a really old book called To Kill a Mockingbird. And this man's name was Boo Radley. So I wouldn't suggest that Boo would be one of those you would share, but since I was using an example from literature, I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do here, as a matter of fact, let me go up and turn on the review pane and track changes. I also want to be able to add commenting. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a comment about this. The fact is, this is all lined up on the side. It just takes up too much room in the length of the page, but it's all shoved over in one location. So I'm going to give this student a hint. You know, this takes and I want to tell them what to try. Try moving the phone number, if I can type, and email to the right. Okay, and if he were to do this, then that would only take up 2 lines of text instead of 4. So that's my suggestion for there. Okay, the objective. Let me read through this. To secure a mid-level position in logistics and supply management department that would entrust me with using my expertise for streaming the department's functionality and improving the cost effectiveness in the entire process. Lots of problems here. This is not a great objective. So let's give him some help. First of all, don't start with 2. We know that you're going to tell me that your objective is 2. Start with the next word. Secure a mid-level position in... Okay, this is, it should be logistics and supply chain management, not supply management. That's odd. But I also, if I pull this department name from the advertisement, then I want to use it exactly the way it's listed in the advertisement. My guess here is it's listed as a proper noun. So we'll do logistics and supply chain, management. And then we don't need department. So I'll delete that. Secure a mid-level position in logistics and supply chain management that would entrust me is not the right verb. Entrust is something a person does, not a position. But holding the position maybe would enable him. So how about let's do enable me. And then with using my expertise, I don't think so. Just to use. to use my expertise for, and I think he meant streamlining the department's function. Okay, we don't need that. Just how about just streamlining the department and improving cost effectiveness in the process. Okay, that's a much better sentence. Now, again, I did a lot of rewriting for him here, but I want him to learn from it. And so I'm hoping by giving him some hints on what would be a proper wording, he'll be able to make this into something that's really usable. All right, the next section is education. And again, I typically look for, and in my own resumes, I typically place my work experience first and education after that. But I'm good with this, and if I were in the workplace and I received a resume like this, it wouldn't bother me for them to be out of order. So even though I'm not used to seeing them in this order, this is actually perfectly fine for education to be next. I am having a hard time, though, picking out elements here because they all seem to be running together a bit. And in this first line, we have the school name, University of Houston, and then a space and the city and state, and then another kind of a space, and then the date. But over here we have dates lined up. I think he's missing some good formatting tools here. So let's make some comments. First of all, it's just difficult to see the school name. It's hard for me to pick them out, so I'm hoping he'll take the hint and use bold or italics or something to help that. But it happens down here in the work experience as well. It's really hard to pick out which ones have the company name. So I'm going to put that same comment. Difficult. Oops. To see the company name. And then whatever this person does at the top under education, I hope they'll follow suit and do it under work experience as well. All right, the next thing is this business with the city and state being odd, not working. So my comment here is to pick a format for the city name and stick with it. You can use center align. You can go after a colon, maybe after a dash. I think he uses that in some of the examples. Any of these will do. Oops, dash. But my point here is pick a format and stick with it. All right, hopefully that's going to be helpful. We have a comment to put on this one, and that is inconsistent. Date should be right aligned like the others. Okay, so we need these to match up going down the page. All right, so hopefully he'll be able to straighten some of this up so that I can easily see that he shows two educational system entries here and the details about them. But the next section, of course, is work experience. Now here, I'm just going to read through quickly and see what I can do to help him. The first one he talks about is being a bartender and server. So he says, and this is a current job. So he says, what you're trying to list here is a description of your job duties. So he has that he, to demonstrate genuine hospitality while greeting and establishing rapport with guests. Okay, that's okay. It's a little wordy, but not too bad. The next one says conducted. That's past tense. In present tense job, current jobs, you use present tense verbs. So let's help him out there. Use present tense in current jobs. In past jobs, you definitely want to use past tense. So he's got conduct inventory tracking and restock. Yeah. Okay. Restock supplies to keep a properly stocked bar supply. Well, that's a little too much. How about a properly stocked bar? All right, the next one. Okay, in this one, he's got the company name and then his role. In this one, he's got the company name but no role. I'm a little confused by that, so I'm going to put a note about inconsistent again. Either list the job title in all or in none. Now, of course, I'm going to advise that you list it in all situations, in all conditions, but I just want him to realize that he did it up here, but he didn't down here. Okay, so he says demonstrated, that's good, that's past tense, demonstrated genuine hospitality while greeting and establishing rapport with guests. Oh my, that sounds like I've read that just exactly the same before. Do not copy items from place to place. Word it differently. This is a distinct no-no. Do not copy. Change this significantly. All right. Supervised and directed servers in daily work activities. Perfect. Ensured proper training of new associates. Excellent. So in his role as catering manager, and I'm just going to help him out here. Instead of describing it, I'm going to actually italicize those myself. I want to give him a hint that it would be nice if I, as the reader, could look down the list and find all the roles he has worked in by seeing that they're italicized and they stand out. Okay, so created a solid book of repeat business with energy corridor companies. That's fine. Provided excellent patron experiences through phenomenal customer service. I'm going to say, you know what? Don't use words like phenomenal. That is way over the top, way overdone. I would say my guess for this one is okay, provided excellent patron experiences through just good customer service, evidenced by a high number of regular businesses requesting catering orders. Okay, that's all right. That describes how he knows that it's really good. Consistently met customer expectations by developing strategic routes for delivery drivers, ensuring timely service. Wow, that's awfully wordy. I'm going to say developing delivery routes. That's just too wordy. That's good. Driver delivery routes. All right, as a server, he was recognized as a lead server, which included mentoring and training new servers. Not as well as. So, and accounting for all wait staff, sales, and receipts. At least 3 shifts weekly. You know what? I would delete that, and here's why. Let me give him a note. Stated this way, I read this as a negative. In other words, he only received 3 times per week. Okay, by leaving it off, you are not lying, you are not misrepresenting, but without putting that on there, let them think that you receive, that you handle the receipts and sales staff data every night. You know, it's just, I would leave it off. Let them ask that question. You don't need to point out the limitations here. Okay, proactively prepare for large parties and reservations. Anticipate planning and staffing needs. I would just, that's a little wordy as well. I'm just going to say that. Let's prepare for large parties and reservations, planning and staffing needs. Memorize restaurants' wine stock and meals they should accompany. Wow, that's a big deal. Leading to an increase in daily sales of 150%. Oh my, I don't see how that follows. How does memorizing the wine stock lead to an increase in daily sales? Maybe he means daily wine sales. I'm going to put that in there because that might help him say, oh yeah, that is what I meant. Or he might correct it and say, no. You know, what I meant was, I just don't believe that memorizing the wine stock could increase sales by, 150%. Okay, now we get down to organizations and skills, and they don't match the other headers. These are bold, but they're also italicized. Inconsistent. Make all headers match. All right, supply chain, industrial distribution, organization. Excellent. That's an excellent item to put on here. Skills, again, inconsistent. Bilingual, Spanish and English. I don't know what that little dash is. I would get rid of it. Okay, so he has 4 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of them are italicized and 1 of them's not. Another note, inconsistent. All right, and finally we get to this last line, and if you remember from my other video, I'm going to put a comment here. This is not necessary. Remove it. And your page, how about your 1-page goal should be easy to meet. All right. So I have just graded this person's paper, or I've actually marked it up. So the next thing I will do, if I'm going to send this to you, I go here and I print it as a PDF. And that's because I want you to see all of those markups. Let's wait until it comes up. There we go. So when I give this back to you, you can go through and see all of the markups, see the things I got rid of, see the comments I made, see everything really easily. So I really like using these markups, but again, when I send it back to you, it will come back to you as a PDF. Mainly because I don't want you to cheat and just copy and paste from mine. I want you to work through these changes that I've suggested and changes that I've made because I believe they will help you understand better the kind of errors you make or the kind of improvements could be made. This is the grade he would have for the first pass. And this, of course, means that if he does not do anything else to this document, he'll get an 82. It's a little high. If I were to receive this document as his resume that he's sending me for a job opening, I would discard it pretty quickly because it just does not show the care that I would expect to see. But, you know, I gave him the grade, so I'll let it fly. So he'll have an 82. But I will go ahead and show you, just in case you're curious, what the final version that he came up with looks like. and it looked like this. On this version, he straightened up that problem with alignment. He used some formatting that is just built into the system. He used the headers. I can easily see that he has two schools because he used bolding for them. He's got them spaced out. I can see where the cities are. I can see the dates easily. He also took all of these under education. He took the second line of items and italicized them, and he also did that on work experience. So he has the company in bold, but he has the position italicized. So in the next one, the Roadhouse, is in bold, but the position as server trainer, before that as catering manager, and before that as server, all in italics. We got the organizations there that matches. All of these match. And then he's got his skills. Now they all match in formatting, and they are bulleted. If I were to receive this as a job application or as a resume in my workplace, I would not discount it offhand. I would be impressed with the fact that it is full and complete. It's relatively short, could use some work on filling in some things, but it is well written, and depending on the position, I would be persuaded to go to the next step with this candidate. So this is probably a 24 out of 25, or maybe even a 25 paper. This was an easy cleanup, an easy, quick thing to do for him to get from a B to a solid A with just a little bit of work. So, I hope that was helpful to you. You will struggle a little bit on this, and I know you will, but we will work together, and I'm hoping to see some really, really good resumes so that when you get out of this class at the end of the semester, you're going to have something that you can use as you move forward in your work life. Thanks so much. See you next time.